Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the man behind the counter, Duncan, and today we're going to talk about a 1991 action movie starring Chuck Norris. It's called The Hitman. It's directed by his brother Aaron Norris. It also stars Al Waxman, Michael Parks, Alberta Watson, and Ken Pogue. So it had a pretty solid cast here, and the acting was actually really good. Now, this movie, Chuck Norris plays a guy named Garrett, who's a Seattle cop, and he's partnered with Delaney, who's played brilliantly here by Michael Parks. And they bust up a drug deal, but Delaney's dirty, so he shoots Garrett and leaves him for dead. And Garrett's pronounced dead at a hospital, but they're able to revive him. And an agent played by Ken Pogue's like, I got an idea. So he kind of wants to do an off-the-books undercover operation, and since the guy is dead, he wants to keep him that way. So Garrett now becomes Grogan, and he works through this. Fast forward to 2 years later, he works for the Lugani family now. And Al Waxman's the head of the Lugani family, and he runs the mafia action in the Seattle area. But he's kind of a war is brewing with a French family headed by Lacombe, who's trying to move in from Vancouver in on his action. And so Grogan's now the muscle of that family, but he wants them to merge so he can take them all down. So he tries to talk Lugani into that. And so another thing too is there's a group of Iranians who are just raising hell, and so he needs to contend with them as well, and that's why he wants the two families to merge so they're strong enough to take on the Iranians. And also he knows deep down Delaney's somehow tied into all this, and he wants to get revenge on him for obvious reasons. Now, Grogan here, since he's not a cop anymore, he does things he normally wouldn't do because he's so far undercover and off the books. But there's a little subplot here. He meets a kid who lives down the hall in his apartment complex who's being bullied by some racists, so he teaches him to defend himself. And I think part of the reason he does that is, to help the kid out, obviously, but also to kind of remember who he is. He's really a good guy deep down because this undercover operation's really, taking him to a dark place. Now, back to the plot here. He eventually gets the two families to merge, and, he needs to, take everybody down. So that's all laid out here pretty well. It sounds complex, but it's laid out here pretty well. And I like the direction by Aaron Norris here. It's a good, tight script, and everything is laid out very well here in an hour and a half. And the acting, Michael Parks in particular, is just brilliant as Delaney. I mean, you just hate him. I mean, he's a real bad dude. And so, you want Chuck Norris to get a hold of him. And of course, fans of Chuck Norris, you'll get what you want as far as this goes. Now, like I said, it's more of a straight up action movie here. It's not as much martial arts, but Chuck Norris has a trench coat, he keeps a shotgun in there, and he has the best mullet of his career in this movie, so that's really cool too. And here, the music is really good here too. And I really liked the setting. The Seattle setting's kind of gray, and so, because there's so many different characters and shades of gray, I thought that was a good tie-in to this. And the dialogue here from the video store here, there's always a time of creativity, for some of these smaller budgeted movies. I wonder if some of these lines were improvised because, they're just great. Like when Grogan meets with Lacombe in Vancouver, he's like, look, I think you guys should merge because there's a group of Iranians moving in, and we need to consolidate our resources here and really become stronger. And Lacombe's like, if anyone tries to move in on my action, I will write on their snowy graves with piss. So, you have some of that awesome dialogue from this video store era. I mean, there's always so many lines from those movies back then. But anyway, this is another Canon Films classic. So anyway, let me know in the comments if you've seen it, and give me a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you like movies from this era, Video Mania 2 is the place for you. Anyway, I appreciate all the support, and take care till next time.